Hi there, I'm Tara Kestner. Welcome to this Deep Stretch and Immunity Boost class. This is a class I like to teach in December in my live classes when everybody's anxiety is kind of at its peak. I figure we can all use a little stretch and relaxation. If you don't have time to do the full hour class, this class is going to be segmented into head, neck, and shoulders, spinal flexion, hamstrings, and hip flexors. So you can just look down into the description and I will tell you at what point in the video each of those sections start. And so you can just use the section you need or do the whole hour-long class if you have the time. For this class, you're going to need a strap for some non-weight bearing hamstring stretches at the end, and if you want to use a blanket or a towel or something to sit on for a little extra comfort, then get that and we will get started. Now before we start, if you would look down there's a little red box that says subscribe. I would love it if you would press that and subscribe to this channel. I promise you it will never cost you a thing. It just helps support the Next Level Yoga channel on the YouTube platform. So that being said, let's get started. This class starts out on your back. So come on to your back and get comfortable. Now, you can lay with your legs out long or your feet on the ground with your knees propped against one another. Resting your hands on your belly, out to the side. As I said, I really don't care. I just want you to be comfortable. Close your eyes. We're going to start out with a little body awareness scan. So all I'd like you to do is close your eyes and take your attention to the place where your head meets the floor. Just really focus in on the support of the floor under your head. Maybe rock your head a little bit. And then take your attention down to your shoulders. Lift your shoulders up and slowly lay them back down. And as you do, broaden out through the collarbones. Now move your attention to your upper back where it's pressing into the floor. And just notice that place. Scan your attention down to your belly. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, soften through your belly. Let your belly button drop down into your spine. Now take your attention to your low back. Begin to gently rock your tailbone under and back. Just a few times, feeling where the floor is supporting the sacrum or the L5 vertebrae. And then take your attention to your legs. Notice where your legs connect with the floor, whether that's under the soles of your feet, if your knees are bent, or behind your heels, if your legs are long. And just let your legs be very heavy. Now we're going to start this class out with relaxation technique called visualization, and don't worry, it's not too weird. I like to call this section, we're going to give the kids some crayons. So if you've ever had to take a small child someplace like a lawyer's office or a doctor's office, and then you have to wait, oftentimes they will have crayons for the children to draw to entertain themselves. So in this analogy, your mind is that small child, and you're going to use your imagination as your crayons. So I'd like you to picture a beach. Whatever pops into your mind, just stick with that and begin to fill in the details. Maybe you have white sand, maybe it's tan, maybe you have a rocky shore like in the French Riviera. Whatever it is, just look around and begin to color in the details. And take your attention out to the horizon. Maybe you have a bright blue sky, Maybe there's fluffy white clouds. Whatever there is out there, just really take in the details. And regardless of where your beach is, it's a windy day. So you're going to look down at the water. You're going to notice the pattern of the waves. Nature can create a perfect rhythm. So watch that water as it rolls up onto the shore. And there's that brief little pause when it looks as though the sand is under glass as the water laps up onto the shore. And then the water subsides and rolls back out. And it happens all over again in the same perfect rhythm. So just observe as if you've never seen a wave before in your life. Watch that water as it rolls in, and it pauses, and then it rolls back out. Now, as you're watching that water, see if you can sync your breath up to that movement. So as the water rolls into shore, you inhale. When the water laps up on the shore, you pause. And then exhale, let the breath go as the water goes away. And just continue with that breathing pattern for a few more rounds of breath. And begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and gently rock your head, starting to come back into your awareness, back into your body. And then begin to stretch your legs out long. If your knees were bent, stretch them out. And we're going to slide the feet over to the right. So straight legs, sliding the feet over to the right. Lift up that left leg and cross at the ankle. I'm going to point the toes on the left foot, stretch out long through that left leg, and then relax. In Yin Yoga, this pose is called banana pose, if that gives you a visual of the shape we are going for. Now begin to move your head, neck, and shoulders to the right, creating more stretch. It's coming up through the waist. And then for a deeper stretch, reach the arms up and over your head, taking a hold of your left arm with your right hand, either at the elbow, the forearm, or the wrist, wherever you'd like it to be. Rock your head out of the way, close your eyes, and breathe into that left side. And finish the breath that you're on. And we'll begin to deconstruct this pose. Start by bringing your hands back down to rest on your belly. Moving your head, neck, and shoulders back to the center of the mat. Uncrossing the ankles and sliding the feet over to the left. Hips stay where they are. Lift up your right foot, cross at the ankles, point and reach out long through that top leg, and then relax your foot and your leg. Now start to move your head, neck, and shoulders to the left. Settling in there, feeling the full support of the floor from your heels to your head. And when you're ready, reach your arms up and over your head, taking a hold of that right arm with the left hand. Maybe drawing yourself in more, or just holding on to the elbow. Take a few breaths here, right into the right side of the body. And finish the breath that you're on. And bring your hands down onto your belly. Move your head, neck, and shoulders back into the center of the mat. Bend your knees. Walk your feet up onto the mat. Hug your knees in and gently rock on the spine. And then put your feet on the mat. Heels as close to your backside as you can get them. And begin to tuck the tail under. Now start to slowly lift the hips up into a bridge pose. So you'll feel the muscles of the legs and then the glutes as you come a little higher. If you'd like to, bring your hands under your backside as if you were putting your hands in your back pocket and lift the hips up a little higher. Supported bridge. Just breathe. Pressing the hips up increases the stretch in the hip flexor. And slowly lower it back down. Let's do that again. Tuck the tail under. Slowly lift the hips up. And if you'd like to, slide your hands under your backside, put them in your back pockets, and lift the hips a little higher. And then slowly release and bring that on down. Rock it out. One last time. Tuck the tail. Lift the hips. Lift up just a little higher. And if you'd like to, bring your hands underneath and maybe walk your elbows in under you a little more. And slowly release. Bring that on down. Now with a nice slow inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Reach up, feel those ribs open. And on the exhale, bring the hands on down. Let's do that again with the breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring it on down. One more just like that. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, bring it down. We're going to add the lower body this time. Coming into that bridge, tuck the tail. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, lift the hips into bridge. Pause the breath, and as you exhale, massage out along the sides of the spine as you bring everything back down. Two more like that. Inhale, roll up that spine, feel that pressure roll up into the shoulders, and then exhale. Bring it all back down, nice and slow. One more. Inhale, sweep it up, lift, and reach. Exhale, bring it on down. Go ahead and bring your knees back in, rock it out on the spine. Adjust your grip to the back of your legs, lift your feet, and begin to rock up and down on your spine. If that doesn't feel good, then just hold on to the knees and rock side to side. Eventually you'll rock your way up to seated, or you'll roll onto your side. Come up to a comfortable seat. Now, if we're going to be seated for a while, we're going to start to work on the neck and shoulders. So if you'd like to bring in the blanket and sit on that at this point, just a little extra padding, you can do that. So come to a comfortable cross-legged position. If it's not comfortable for you to bring your legs in close, then just take them out, cross at the ankles, off the mat. All right. Roll the shoulders around. Come up into the ears, back and down. One more like that. Forward, up, back, and down. Reach the hands behind you, and with an inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale. Bring it on down. Reach back. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, bring it down. One more time. Inhale, sweep it up. Pause there. Interlace the fingers together. Flip the palms up. Begin to squeeze the shoulders into the ears. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale, relax the shoulders away. You're creating the tension and you're letting it go. Let's do that again on the inhale. Squeeze the shoulders into the ears, and on the exhale, relax that area. One more time. Inhale, squeeze shoulders into ears, pause. Blow it out slow as you relax the shoulders down. Bring the hands down in front of the chest, turn the palms forward, and begin to lower your chin towards your chest. Now begin to round out the upper back as you reach forward but lean back at the same time. Go ahead and sit up tall and lift your head. Release your hands, bring them around behind you. Now you can just hook the fingers, index fingers together, or you can interlace everything, whichever works for you. We're going to roll the shoulders up into the ears, back and down. Start to lift the center of the chest, and then begin to lean forward. You're leaning into these pectoralis muscles, right across, right underneath the collarbone. Now, if you have it in your shoulder flexibility to lift your hands up off your back, you go right ahead. Make sure that you're lifting and lowering your chin so that your neck is neutral. And then release and sit up tall. Leave your left hand where it is, slightly behind you. Sweep your right hand up and let it rest on the top of your head. Now begin to pull your head away from your left shoulder. You're feeling that tension come out through your upper trapezius, and you've got 3 scalene muscles that are running along the side of the neck. Now, tilt your chin down. Use your hand to just move your head around. And when you do that, you get more into the posterior scalene. If you keep your face forward, you're running right down the middle on the side of the neck there and out the upper trapezius. So decide which one of those feels a little better for you. Close your eyes. Take a big breath in. And an open mouth exhale. Big breath in. Open mouth exhale. One more time. Breath in. Breath out. And let it go. Let your head float up to the center. Take your right hand and just rest it on your right hip, slightly behind you. Sweep that left arm up. Rest it on the top of your head and begin to pull your ear away from your shoulder. Use your hand to move your head around. Find the best possible perch for you. Let it rest there. Close your eyes. Focus on the sensation in your shoulder. Take a breath in. Blow it out through your mouth. And as you do, soften in that shoulder. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And let it go. Let your head float up through the center. And your hand on down. Slide your right hand behind you and let it rest there. Bring your left hand across onto your right knee. Now face forward, take a breath in. And as you exhale, turn your head, look behind you, seated twist. Inhale, bring it back to the front. Blow it out as you slowly turn your head and look behind you. One more time. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round it out. And bring it back to the front. Set it up on the other side. Left hand back, right hand across. Gaze straight ahead. Take in a breath. And as you exhale, take that seated twist. Look to the left, around behind you. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale, seated twist. Let your shoulders follow your gaze. One more time. Inhale. Maybe take it a little deeper this time. Exhale, seated twist. And bring it back to the front. With an inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, bring the hands behind the head. Press the head into the hands. Look up, lift your chin. As you exhale, slowly lower your chin towards your chest. Let your elbows close down and pause. Don't push on the neck. Just let the hands be heavy. Take a big slow inhale as you lift your face, lift your chin, open up your elbows, and then ride that exhale down, chin towards chest. One more time. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. And then look back up. Release the hands. Roll it out a little. Now we have worked on spinal flexion. We've worked on neck and shoulders. Now we're going to work on the cause of most people's low back pain, which is hip flexors and hamstrings. So to do that, we're going to come on over to all fours. An idea that you might like is to use the blanket or beach towel, whatever you've got. There's a little extra padding for your knees because we're going to be here for a while. So you can place that across your mat. Walk your knees up onto it. Take the knees nice and wide. Begin to settle the hips back towards the heels. Now it might be really, really tight. And if it is, just come down onto the forearms, drop your head, play around with it, see what you've got. But as you sink in a little lower, you can bring your head down to the mat or maybe stack up your hands, coming into child's pose. Take a nice slow breath. And exhale it here. Again, inhale. Feel that space between the shoulder blades expand. And blow it out. Let it contract back down. Now start to make your way up to all fours. The knees underneath you. Hands under the shoulders, drop the belly, lift the face. Cow pose. Blow it out. Exhale into cat stretch. Really tuck the tail, tuck the chin. Inhale again. Cow pose. Blow it out slow. Cat stretch. One more time. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Let's come back to a neutral spine. Let's start with the left leg. Extend it out long behind you. Maybe you just keep it here, or maybe you bend at the knee. Maybe you lift your face for a little more. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the knee and the nose towards one another, pushing the ground away. Inhale, kick it up, look up. Exhale, crunch it down. One more time. Inhale, kick and lift. Exhale, crunch it in. And we're going to step that foot up between the hands. Help it with your left hand. You want it to be just to the left of the center of the mat. And kind of shift forward and back. Lifting and lowering that back knee until it's happy. Take your left hand to the outside of your knee and wrap your fingers around the front of the knee. Now begin to lean forward as if you're dragging this back leg along. You can just stay right here. In this variation of lunge, the higher the shoulders go, the more intense it's going to be. So maybe you stay down here. Or maybe you start to crawl up. Maybe you come to here. Always paying attention to what's going on right here. Maybe you come up a little higher, pushing the thigh away, lifting the gaze, sinking in wherever you are. Take a breath. And blow it out slow. Another breath in. Sink on the exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it on down. Coming back to all fours. Moving over to the right side. Extend the leg out long. Option to bend the knee. Option to lift the face. Take a breath. Exhale. Bring knee and nose together. Inhale, kick. Exhale, crunch. One more time. Inhale, kick. Exhale, crunch. And step the foot through. Should be slightly to the right of the center line of the mat, inching the toes forward to wherever you'd like it to go. If you'd like a deeper stretch, go a little further forward with your toes. Wrap your hand around the front of the knee, fingers around the front of the knee, and lean forward. You can just stay right here, or crawl up, maybe to here, or maybe you press all the way up, letting the center of the chest lift up. Feeling that intensity in that right hip flexor, take a breath in, blow it out slow. Another breath in, blow it out slow. One more time. Let it go. Come on down to all fours. Now, you can take this next section from all fours, or if you're feeling like you'd like to do a little more work, you can take it from downward facing dog, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, shaking out the head. When you're ready, let's lift the left leg up, or extend it out behind you if you're on all fours. Now turn your kneecap out to the side, look to the left, take a breath in, and as you exhale, slowly bring that knee down and across and towards your right elbow. Inhale, swing that knee open. Exhale, close it down. One more time, inhale, open. Exhale, closed. And then we're going to step the foot to the outside of the left hand. Lower that back knee down. Inch the toes forward a little. Now big toe is straight ahead, little toes are right along the edge of the mat. Runner's lunge, both hands to the inside of that foot. And shift around. Now runner's lunge is the opposite. The lower the shoulders get, the more intense it gets. So if you need some less intensity, come up here. If you need a little more, come down here. If you need a little more, come all the way down onto your forearms. Take a breath and blow it out. Couple more. And finish the breath that you're on. And come back to all fours. Now, you can again take it from all fours, or you can meet me in downward facing dog. And extend that right leg out long. Turn the kneecap out to the side, open up the hip, take a breath. As you exhale, bring that knee down and across. Inhale, swing it open. Exhale, close it down. Last time, inhale, open it up. Exhale, closed. And then step the foot to the outside. Lower the back knee outside of the right hand. Lower the back knee, shift around, runner's lunge. Foot is pointed straight ahead. Hands are the inside of the foot. And then find the height of the shoulders that works for you. Maybe close your eyes here, let your head droop. Just sink into the sensation in your hips. One last breath. And then come back to your home base, all fours. Now this last segment, you can do again from all fours, or if you'd like a little more work, come to plank, the top of a push-up. We'll all extend the left leg out long behind us. Look to your left. Take a breath in. Bring that left knee towards the left elbow. Squeeze that left side. Inhale, extend that leg out long. Exhale, bring the knee in. One more time. Inhale, reach the leg long. Exhale, bring the left knee towards the left elbow. Now we'll step the foot onto the mat, lower the back knee. The left foot is going to be to the outside of the left hand. You're going to turn the toes on the foot out onto the floor. Heel remains on the mat. Right hand plants on the mat, look to your left. Now you can take that left hand onto your knee and just kind of play around with moving it. You can lean back and push your knee away. You can reach your left arm up. Or maybe look behind you and bring the hand level with the shoulder. Wherever you are, just sink in and breathe. And finish this breath. Make your way back to home base. And starting in all fours or in plank, extend the right leg long. We're almost done. As you exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, kick it back out there, slow and in control. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. One more time, extend and contract. Blow it out. Step the foot to the outside of the hand, lower the back knee. Turn the toes out onto the floor. Shift around. Right hand up onto right knee and push that knee away, rolling along the outer edge of the foot. Maybe just stay here. Maybe lean back away as you push that knee away from you. Reach that hand up in the air. Or maybe look back, then reach back. Open up and breathe. Final breath. Bring it on down. Come back to all fours. Take your knees wide and sink back to child's pose. And lower your head and take a couple of slow breaths. From here, we're going to start to move into a little bit of mobility work, just working the joints, warming them up. So when you're ready, go ahead and start to come on up. Let's get rid of the blanket if you're using it. At this point, it's just a tripping hazard. We'll come to all fours. And tuck the toes under, drop your head and lift up to downward facing dog. Start to pedal out your heels. And we're going to do lymphatic flush. So we're going to be upside down for a little while here. So slowly pedal your heels. Shake out your head. If at any point you start to feel lightheaded or pressure behind your eyes or anything that just feels wrong, you're going to go back to either child's pose or all fours. You're not going to sit down. You want to keep your head in line with your heart. So bend one knee and press into the opposite heel and take a couple of breaths. Don't worry if the heel doesn't make it to the mat. Mine doesn't. Just stretching out that calf. And then bend the other knee and press into the other heel and breathe. And then lift up that heel. We're going to lift both heels. Now maybe you bend your knees towards your belly or maybe you keep your legs straight. It doesn't matter. As you inhale, lift the heels. As you exhale, lower them down. Do that again. Inhale, lift the heels, roll up onto the balls of the feet, and then slowly exhale
as you settle it back down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now start to shuffle your feet forward. Make sure you bend your knees. Let your knees come up under your belly. Rest your belly on the tops of your thighs. Make sure your feet are about hip distance apart. Drop your head. Begin to sway it out, side to side. Maybe you grab opposite elbow. And drop your head. And you start to take your arms around the outer edges of the shins. Completely up to you. And then we'll bring it to stillness in the center. And drop the hands. Begin to drag the hands from side to side, taking them all the way out beyond the edges of the mat. Once again, checking in. Did you lift your head? Are you trying to look out of your peripheral vision? Really commit to looking through your legs. And when you get to one side, doesn't matter which one, pause, lift up just a little, and then drag the fingers back across. You get back to that side, lift up a little more. Now the arms are just dangling. They're just hanging like noodles. And each time you come back to that side, you're going to slowly start to build a spine. So take your time. Your head is going to be the last thing that comes up. As you get a little taller, your arms can swing further behind you. And eventually, start to build that thoracic vertebrae behind the ribs. You'll have something to set your shoulders on. And then you bring that bobbly head up last on top of your shoulders. Continue to swing the arms out a little bit. And make your way a little closer to the top edge of your mat. Let's start to move those joints around a little. So as you inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. As you exhale, lean to your left. Lateral half moon, inhale to the center. Exhale, lean to your right. Inhale to the center, bend your knees, and swan dive down over the legs. Exhale. Step your left foot back as far as it'll go, and just shift the weight between the front foot and the back foot, bending and straightening that front leg. Letting your butt pop up in the air if it wants to. And then settle, planting that left hand, look to the right, and with an inhale, revolve that lunge. Sweep that right arm up, and then bring it down. Steady yourself on your hands as you step back to downward facing dog. And a nice slow inhale, come into plank, lower to the knees. And as you exhale, lower all the way down onto the mat. Stretch the legs out long, big toes close to one another. Lift the knees on the inhale, peel up to cobra pose. And exhale, lower it down. Push yourself away from the ground. Walk your knees up under you. Tuck your toes under, and with an inhale, roll into your feet, lift your hips, drop your head downward, facing dog. With a slow inhale, lift that left leg up behind you. Bend your knee. Bring your knee up near your nose and step your foot onto the mat. Once again, shift around, forward, back. Feel free to help your foot along with your hand if you need to. And then plant that right hand, look left. With an inhale, revolve that lunge. And as you exhale, bring it down. A little bounce in the back foot as we step it to the top. As you inhale, come to a halfway lift, sliding hands up the shins, pause, then exhale, forward. Fold. Now let's start to move through that one breath, one movement. Inhale, rise up, pressing the palms. Blow it out as you lean left. Inhale, center. Exhale, lean right. Inhale, center. Exhale, swan dive. This time the right foot steps back into that lunge. Shift around. Plant the right hand. On the inhale, revolve the lunge. Left hand high. Exhale down. Step back to downward facing dog. With an inhale, hinge forward into plank, possibly loaded to the knees or don't. As you exhale, slowly lower yourself down to the ground. Untuck the toes, lift the knees, inhale, cobra. And exhale, lower back down. Push yourself off the ground. Walk your knees up under you. Tuck your toes and inhale to downward facing dog. Right leg, inhale, lift it up. Exhale, step it through. Shift around as needed. Plant your left hand, and as you inhale, sweep that right hand high. Bring it on down. Little bounce in the back foot. Step to the top, halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, press the palms. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, lean right. Inhale, center. Exhale, swan dive. Step the left foot back into lunge. Plant the left hand, find your breath. Inhale, revolved lunge. Exhale, down. Step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower part way or all the way down. As you inhale, come to cobra or roll over the toes. Push everything away from the ground, upward facing dog. Find your way back to downward facing dog, whether that's through all fours or just lifting the hips. Lift that left leg up with an inhale. As you exhale, step it onto the mat. Plant your right hand. Inhale, revolve lunge, left hand high. Exhale, bring it down. Little bounce in the back foot. Step to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Press the palms together. Bring the hands down the center line. Take a second to let your head stop spinning. Adjust your clothing as needed. And we're going to slow the pace down and move into some standing stretches. So we'll start by stepping the feet hip distance apart. Step the left foot as far back as you can. Get two straight legs. Guide your hip bones around so they're pointed straight ahead. Work that right foot over just a little bit, and then begin to bend that right knee. Settle into those warrior one legs, and then we'll bring the arms up overhead. Now maybe you stay here, maybe you lift your gaze, and this feels good to you. If you want a little more, interlace the fingers together, bring the hands to the back of the head, and press the head into the hands, opening up through the elbows. Now if you want to take it a little further, start to look to the right and start to move the shoulders, trying to point that left elbow forward. Glue that back heel down. It's going to want to lift. And then release. Let's bring the hands on down. We're going to turn to the left, face the left edge of the mat. Take the feet wide. Look at your right foot. Pick up your toes. Lay them down on the mat, pointing straight ahead. And bend that right knee, setting up your warrior two legs. Extend the arms out long. And maybe stay right here. If you want a little more, drop that right arm down, cross the left arm over, and bring the hands up on to the shoulders. Now you can keep it right there, or you can move to eagle arms, bringing the palms together and trying to hook either the finger, or maybe if you can get your palms together, good for you. That is not something I can do. If you want a little bit more, begin to lift the elbows up, pointing them towards the horizon. Sink into that front leg and breathe. Wherever you are, untangle your arms. Come back to those extended arms and bend that front arm to 90 degrees. Let the forearm or the hand come to rest on that front thigh. Start to sweep that left arm up in the air. If you want a little more, reach over your head. And if you want a little more, slide that right hand down to the floor, bracing the knee against the arm, and let that knee come forward, side angle. When you're ready, let's come to reverse warrior. Rotate the arms back, reaching up there, looking up. Bring your hands on down, straighten out that front leg. Pick up those right toes and pivot on the heel. Prasarita, Padangusthasana. I'm going to turn around. We're going to slide the hands down the outsides of the legs. Coming about halfway down and pausing. Now lift your tailbone, flatten out your back. Maybe just stay here. Maybe this is going to work. Maybe you continue to slide the hands down the outsides of the calves, maybe all the way to the ankles. Or for that little added oomph, you can lift up the outer edges of the feet, tuck the fingertips under there, and drop your head. Use your arm strength to pull you deeper into this stretch. And then release. Bring your fingertips to the mat. Look towards the top edge of your mat and begin to walk your hands in that direction, pivoting around on your feet. Little bounce in the back foot. And we'll step it to the top. Take a halfway lift just to reset yourself. Inhale. And exhale down. Inhale, rise up to standing. Press the palms and bring the hands down the center line. And separate your feet hip distance if they're not already. This time the right foot. Going to step it back as far as you would like. Let that foot land naturally. 2 straight legs. Guide the hip bones around. Work that left foot over a little if you need to. Now bend that front knee. Settle into your warrior 1 legs. And when you're ready, bring the arms up and overhead. Looking up and through the fingers. If you want a little more, interlace the hands, bring them behind the head, press the head into the hands, lift the gaze. If that's still not enough for you, begin to look to the left and begin to rotate the shoulders and begin to point the right shoulder off the top edge of the mat. And bring it back to the center. Let's lower the hands. Turn to the right this time. Take the feet wide. Lift up your left toes. Pivot on the heel. Lay that foot down and bend that knee. Coming into warrior 2. Settle into your warrior 2. Knowing you're not going to be here that long gives you the freedom to go in a little more. If you'd like a little more, drop your left hand. Cross your right forearm. Bring your hands up onto your shoulders, stacking your elbows. And you can just stay right here. If you want more, lift the hands up. Come to eagle arms. And pause here. If you still need a little more, start to point those elbows towards the horizon. And breathe. Sink into your legs a little more. And we'll untangle our arms, extend them out long. And bend that front arm to 90 degrees. Let your hand or your forearm come down onto that front knee. Let your knee come forward a little. You can sweep that arm up. And maybe just stay right here or here. You can reach over your head if you want a little more. And if you want to take it even deeper still, slide your arm down until your fingertips or your hand, or maybe make a fist. And let that knee come forward more into that side angle. Let's make our way to reverse warrior. Cartwheel the arms up and out. Reaching the left hand for the sky, relaxing that back shoulder. And then bring it on down. Straighten out that front leg. Pick up those toes and wheel them around towards the long edge of the mat. Begin to slide your hands down the outside of your legs, Prasarita, Pada Konasana. Now pausing at the halfway point, maybe staying here, or bring your fingertips to the ground. If you'd like something a little different, begin to walk your hands out off the mat until your heels lift. Drop your head. And then begin to walk your hands back onto your mat, settling into your feet, dropping your head, maybe walking the hands all the way back so that the toes and the fingertips are all on a straight line. Drop your head and press into your hands. Tuck your chin into your chest. And then lift your head. Look towards the top edge of your mat. Start to walk your hands in that direction. This time we'll lower the back knee down and come to all fours. And begin to lower the chest down in between the thumbs. Coming onto your belly, stretching out long. Bring your arms up overhead, grabbing opposite elbow. Rest your head directly on your forearms and rock your hips, maybe kicking the feet up into the air. And then drop the feet if they're lifted. Separate them about mat distance apart. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So first start by lifting your head. And then begin to walk your elbows back underneath you. Anytime you feel any kind of trouble in the low back, you're going to stop and back off. But if you're able to get your elbows all the way underneath you, then you can bring your palms onto the mat or press the palms together. Lift and lower your chin to neutralize the neck. Close your eyes and take 3 very slow breaths, really focusing on your exhale. Another one, nice slow inhale. Big slow exhale. Allow your belly to sink into that mat. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And begin to lower yourself down. Bring your hands back and on the sides of your chest. Push yourself slowly off the ground. Begin to walk your knees up underneath you, keeping them relatively close to one another. Begin to gently settle your tailbone towards your heels, folding yourself in half. And coming here, dropping your head. So it's the counter pose to Sphinx pose. In Sphinx pose, your cervical spine is lifted, your tailbone is lifted. Here we're dropping the tailbone and dropping the head. If it feels okay, bring your hands down by your feet. Palms to the ceiling, resting the head on the mat. Close your eyes and breathe into that space between your shoulder blades. Let your arms be very, very heavy. And start to make your way up. You're going to press your body off your legs. Coming into hero's pose. Survey the landscape. Figure out where your stuff is. You're going to need that strap. And you might want the blanket to use as a pillow as we finish this on our backs. So set that all up and come onto your back. Your knees bent. We drop the knees from side to side a few times. And then take your strap. Catch your right foot in the strap. Extend it out long. And bring the knees together. Pinching the knees together as if you could hold a pencil between those knees. I want to get the alignment before you try to isolate the hamstring muscles. Now begin to draw back on that strap, press through the heel, and then relax the foot. Close your eyes and begin to lift the foot up. Feel your way through this. Don't kick, don't assist with the right leg. Just start to lift that foot up to the ceiling. When you feel that engagement, keep working into it to a place that feels manageable to you, relatively intense. We've isolated a small part of the leg, and so it's going to feel more intense than if the whole hamstring group was working together. And breathe. Release on your exhales. Relax and soften in that back leg. Now bring the tails of the strap together. Take both tails in your right hand. Keep it up close to your foot. Slide your left hand down close to your belly. Begin to move that foot out to the side, but not too far. I see people always wanting to drop it way out to the side. Instead, just take it out until you feel this left hip start to lift up off the ground and then stop. Now turn your big toe out so you can see the inner arch of your foot and start to drive through your heel. It's not a contest to see if you can get your leg down to the floor. We're isolating a portion of the hamstring. And you're just going to breathe into it. You might feel a little shaking. Bring it back to the center. Reverse the grip, so left hand high, right hand low. This one's a tiny bit trickier. Move your foot to the left a little until you feel this hip start to come up off the ground. And then stop. Turn your big toe in. Feel a little bit of tension coming down the leg. Now close your eyes, and as you exhale, try to sink that right hip back to the ground. It's as if somebody's standing over you, holding onto your foot, lifting you up by your foot, and gravity is pulling you back. And then release and relax. Let's kick the left foot up into the strap, drop the right foot to the ground. Bring the knees back together. Draw back on that strap, pull on it, take a breath in. Blow it out. Relax your foot. And then lift that foot to the ceiling, just using the strap. And adjust your grip wherever you need it to be effective. Go ahead and take your left hand high and your right hand low. I'm going to move the foot out, away from the body. Pause. Turn the big toe out and begin to press through the heel. And then bring it back to the center. Adjust your grip. Right hand high, left hand low. Start to move the foot across the belly, pause, turn the big toe in, close your eyes, take a few slow breaths, and as you exhale, try to sink that left hip back to the ground, holding the foot in place with the strap. And let it go. Bring the right foot up into the air. Catch it in that strap. No more stretching here. Bend your knees. Maybe wrap the strap around your hands. Just get as comfortable as you can. We're just going to keep the legs up in the air for about a minute here. You can be still, or you can sway it out, or you can draw a little circle with your feet. Just keeping the legs up in the air allows the lymph to drain down. Lets the pressure on the heart is relieved. Relaxes the nervous system. So just close your eyes. Keep a soft breath. And we'll take one more really slow breath here. Maybe 10 or 15 more seconds. Begin to bend your knees, remove the strap, and set it off to the side. Final relaxation. You can extend your legs out long, letting your feet flop open, feet wider than the hips. Take a second to lift your chest and adjust your shoulder blades. If you prefer, you can bring the soles of your feet together, letting your knees drop out to the side, letting your hands rest on your belly. Or you can bring your feet on the mat, prop your knees against one another, and rest here. Just close your eyes. And just enjoy 1 minute of peace and quiet. And begin to deepen your breath, filling up with air slowly and blowing it out softly. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And walk your feet back onto the mat, bending your knees. And drop your knees lazily from side to side. Eventually rolling yourself to one side or the other, pausing there for a breath. And when you're ready, press on up to a comfortable seated position. Let's roll the shoulders around. Reach back behind you. And take a slow breath in as you sweep the arms up, up, up. Press the hands together and blow it out as you bring the hands down, down, down. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.